Hello, YouTubers. Here we are on Thanksgiving week, and time then to remember, if you got memories of memorable Thanksgivings and funny stories on the family and things that had happened, and from anybody else. My family had a funny Thanksgiving, maybe unlike any you've ever heard of. At least I thought it was funny, and I still think it's funny today. The one person that wasn't laughing about it was my mother. But the way it happened, Dad's family was never much on everybody getting together for a meal. And my mother decided that it was high time that somebody mold and everybody needed to get together for a holiday meal. And my dad had 2 brothers and 4 sisters, and they was married, and they all had kids. And Mom decided she was going to fix the Thanksgiving meal, and they was all coming, and she wasn't taking no for an answer. Well, prior to this happening, for about a month before Thanksgiving, the festivities at our house began. Scrubbing the house from top to bottom. I was only maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I still remember all the work that I had to do cleaning on that house. Floors getting scrubbed and baseboards getting scrubbed and everything being dusted and polished and getting the Old English oil out to polish up all the woodwork and everything in the house. Oh my goodness gracious. Everything was scrubbed. And then she went to planning out the meal. Mom sat there at the table, and with her, she always had a notebook and she had her pencil, and she's writing down everything she's going to fix for this meal. And it was going to be a feed. There was going to be, I don't know, it was somewhere between 40 and 60 people total that was showing up for this. And she made sure that she had plenty of tables set up that she could put the food out on, and it was going to be kind of a buffet style. Everybody come get your plate, find a place down, eat your meal, come back for seconds sort of deal. And so she planned out, okay, we're going to need a turkey. She figured out how many pounds of turkey she's going to need, how big of a bird she's going to have to get. And she planned out the sweet potatoes and the green beans and the corn and the peas, cream peas with onions in them, and 3 kinds of stuffing, and the 50-gallon drum of gravy she's going to have to make. And there was mashed potatoes too for them that didn't like the sweet taters. And I think she baked a dozen pies in preparation for this whole wing ding. But the thing, well, there's several things I'll never forget about it. The day before Thanksgiving, it was time to start prepping this turkey and getting this turkey ready, because it was a big bird. I never seen a bird so big in my life as that thing she had. And she'd gotten a great big old cook this thing in. Well, she gets all ready and she's going to put this bird in the oven, and it won't fit. We had an old-fashioned gas stove. It was white enamel. Had the 4 burners up on the top of it with the pilot lights, and the oven was one side of the bottom part of the stove, and then there was a cabinet on the other side of the stove. It wasn't like our modern day ovens that have the oven all the way across. And she goes to stick this pan in the oven, and it ain't going to fit. Well, Daddy said, how about you cut the bird in 2 and cook it in 2 go rounds? He said you could even take some of it down to Granny's and cook, half of it down there, half of it up here. Oh, no, that was not going to happen. This bird was going to be a presentation on the table. Daddy had to go down to the used appliance store the day before Thanksgiving and get her an oven big enough to cook this bird in. They got the measuring tape out, and they measured what size the oven was, and they measured how big that bird was, how wide the opening had to be, how tall it had to be to get that bird in the oven so that it could cook. Into the used appliance store, and he measured up a stove that would be big enough to accommodate this turkey. And he had to come home, take the old stove out, put the new stove in, hook the gas back up to it and all. And she had to clean the oven, get it all cleaned up in there so it would cook. So She cooks this massive size monster turkey. And the day Thanksgiving comes, everybody shows up. The house was packed full of people. Every one of them showed up. I mean, they knew that if they didn't show, there'd be hell to pay. She says, "You're coming to dinner. You're coming to dinner." So they all piled in, and we had a big feed. But Mom thought, sadly for her, that if she got the ball rolling, that the rest of them would kind of follow suit, and every year a different one would have. She said, in that way, nobody's killing themselves, and for there'd be 7 go rounds on it, with them being 7 of them. The other daughter-in-laws and daughters would all kick in, and they just pass this thing around. Oh, no such luck. There's none of them that ever invited us over for a holiday meal or a weekday meal or a picnic or come pick your teeth. Nothing. They didn't offer nothing. Oh, Mom was upset about that. I'll never forget that. But man, we had a house full of people that Thanksgiving, and the biggest turkey you ever seen in your life.